Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing Before I Fall. I have absolutely no idea what this movie's about. I presume it's some sort of romance, judging by the title, which sounds extremely corny. Before I Fall. So, I'm not expecting much. I think it'll probably be decent. Moving on. Yo, listen up, here's a story about a little lady that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything she sees is just blue. And sometimes green. It's blue and sometimes green, and sometimes blue and sometimes green, and sometimes blue, but mostly green, but mostly blue, and sometimes green and sometimes red, but mostly blue and green and red. This movie is so freaking blue. Oh my god, I think the costume designer is just really obsessed with blue and green, depending on what scene it was. Sorry about that parody. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just had to do it. For fuck's sake. Every other scene, this movie had like... Who the hell designed the sets in this? Hasn't every other scene... Either almost everyone's wearing blue, or almost everyone's wearing green. Like, either the movie's tinted blue, or the movie's tinted green. It's never tinted normal. It's never a bunch of colors. It's just blue or green. You want blue, or do you want green? So I think we know who's not going to win the best costume design or best like production design awards for the next Oscars. Not that this was trying. So anyway, that's for the actual thing about this movie. You guys ever seen Groundhog Day? You ever wondered what Groundhog Day would be like if Bill Murray was instead this teenage girl and, like, everything else was really boring and really stupid? Well, and then this is the movie for you, because that's what happens in this movie. And I don't mean, like, it's just superficially about somebody reliving the same day over and over again. I mean, like, literally, she... like, at a certain time, she wakes up at the sound of the same song in the morning in, like, unlike an unusual day, this time Valentine's Day, and goes through the same series of events and stuff, and tries to change things at certain times after the initial confusion and stuff, and eventually learns the purpose of this to a certain extent, and... oh my fucking god. Like, why did it have to do that? The problem is, if it weren't for that, this movie would just be kind of like, well, it was okay. I mean, there was some like nice story stuff to it, you know. But the problem is with this movie, it's impossible to watch it and not think about how much better Groundhog Day is. I've seen that movie. I've seen that movie so many times that it's burned into my brain. So, when I see such a poor imitation of it, I can't help but think, this is a poor imitation of a great movie. So, in that respect, this movie's a huge fucking failure and a waste of your time. But, even disregarding that, the movie's still a huge fucking failure and a waste of your time. Because if we're just going, like, just from the movie itself, this is essentially about this lady who herself isn't that bad, but she's submissive in a way, and she kind of lets her friends and society kind of do nasty things. She's not assertive. That's her problem. So, like, the anti-Bill Murray. And so, like, she's caught in the time loop, I guess, to try and fix that. Specifically, this one girl who commits suicide, and I think all of her friends die or something. That's actually not clear. They get in a car accident, but the car accident does not look lethal to me, so I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, she has to fix that. That's the point of the time loop. The problem is they spend way too much time in each loop. I almost compared it to Groundhog Day right there, but I didn't have. But I really don't want to because it's just way too easy. They spend too much time in each loop. We get bored of it. We know that whatever she's doing is going to be erased and replaced with something else soon. But essentially the whole idea is that with each loop she learned something new. So we gotta follow this for 20 minutes or so. Even though, like, many of them are not very interesting. Yeah, that's nice that in one of her loops she decides to hang out with her little sister. Well, that's fun. That's good for her. I'm glad her little sister is happy. Can we move on? And also another problem, she's a fucking moron. That also doesn't help. I don't just mean because she's bullying and stuff. She's essentially like meekly participating in bullying. Like, because her friends are bullying somebody and she just kind of like stands in the background and says, yeah, you know. I don't just mean for that reason. I mean, she's stupid in that she doesn't do anything to affect the future very much until way, way, way past when she should have figured it out. Like, for instance, the girl who committed suicide and stuff. Earlier in the day, they make fun of her. Like, a group of friends, they make fun of her to her face. And they also, because it's Valentine's Day and they have, like, Valentine's Day deliveries and stuff, they send a fake rose to her that said something degrading, like, not this year, or something like that. So, how long do you think it takes for her to rectify this? First loop? No, she's still learning. She's still struggling to figure out what the hell's going on. Second loop? I don't know. She might be trying out something else. Fifth? 10th? Let me clue you in. The taunting thing, she never actually fixes. I mean that. She never fixes the taunting thing. She always just, once or twice, she interrupts it partway through, but they still started off by saying nasty things. You know what's going to happen in the future, right? You can alter that. You can say, before they start saying anything, like, oh, hi, what's her name? Hi, Juliet, how you doing? And then her friends wouldn't, pick at her or something, and, it'd be nice. So, she never figures out that one. The Rose one, she doesn't figure out until, her second to last loop. After what we've hinted to be, at least dozens. So, a fucking moron. That is one of the first things I'd try. If I was stuck in a time loop, and I was, being Bill Murray'd here, I would first try and figure out what I have to change in order to make the day better. Which is kind of what she decides to do, but she can't figure it out, because she has, a pea brain, I guess. Instead of, trying to make the day better for the person who fucking died, she tries to make the day better for her friends, and then herself, and then absolutely everyone except the person who commits suicide, and then the lady who commits suicide. So, and then, don't even get me started on the ending of this movie. The ending of this movie is so bullshit, and so tacky, and not very conclusive. Honestly, no, I'm not gonna do it. I got so close to comparing it to Groundhog Day, again, with endings. Groundhog Day is just better. But, yeah, the ending of this movie isn't very satisfying. I'm just gonna say that. It doesn't leave you with any kind of conclusion about anything. In fact, we're not even entirely sure the time loop is over if you put any thought into it. So, yeah. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. So until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dyer Situation. Stay away from those blue filters.